How y'all doing tonight? Welcome to the Greenhouse Lounge. Let's make sure this is turned all the way down here. That should do it. How we doing tonight? Good to see you. Good to see you here. Um, how you doing, Samantha Wood? How you doing the homeschool life? Hey, Lavender for Luck. Uh, Missing a couple because I can't pronounce them. Hey, Christopher. Hey, Renee. What's up, Happy Mac? How we doing? I see. Don't shame the lone wolf. That's not why we're here. And honestly, if we can start out by saying, if you are alone in this situation right now, that has to change. That has to change. All right. What's going on, everybody? What's up, G Rogers? Lone wolf in Idaho. We got to change it. Let's change it. Let me see. What was that? You alone with some kids? Okay. Let me see. What's going on? Perfectly imperfect. Well, welcome to the Greenhouse Lounge. It's your first time hanging out with us. Nice to see everybody here. Let me see. Just me for my house. Okay. It's a lot of people that are doing this solo. And I was listening to my friend Frugal Nurse Homestead today. And I've been talking about this, but when she said it today, I was listening like I just couldn't believe how many people still have not found a community or set up a system after all this time. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to Greenhouse Lounge. So my husband think it's a waste of time. It's a waste of money and clutter to him. We're going to talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna try to give you a solution that won't where I'm not interfering, but all I can do is say, I give you something to try. Let me see. Doing it alone, Judy? I understand. So I'm afraid, Sandy says, I'm afraid if others know I prep, they will be, I missed it. Ooh, something is going on here. It's not letting me stay, it's not letting me stick around. It's really going, it won't let me pause it no more. Hey, David, it says something like, if others know that you prep, you're afraid of something, and I don't know. I'm gonna tell you this. Everybody knows you prep already. That secrecy hiding thing that everybody is into, that's like people still hiding, they trying to hide their identity, but they're going by online orders and they got credit cards, and people say, I don't got a credit card in my name. You got a social security number. If people want you, if they really want you, they'll get you. That's what always tripped me out about stuff like that. If people really want you, I promise you, all you got to do is Google somebody now. Back in the day, it still wasn't hard with your social security number. But now, you can Google anybody. Listen, they'll give you an endless amount of information on somebody for free. So if you mess around and pay like $20 or $50 or whatever the packages is, you will know what I got in trouble for in the 3rd grade. It was in the office, and what time my mama picked me up and gave me a whooping or whatever else. So hey, what's up, SEI Family Garden? Hey, Nicole Groves, what's up? Hey, Beauty in the Garden. If people want to know things about you, they don't They don't have to look hard anymore. They don't have to hire a private detective. When the last time you heard somebody hiring a private detective? You know why? Because Google is putting them dudes out of business. Look, I'm going to show you one right here. Google and these will tell you everything you need to know all around the world. You can fly this right over somebody's house and know everything about them. 5, 10 miles away. Nobody would even know. Right? I have a friend, I ain't gonna call you out, bro, because I know you watching me. And he's not a private investigator, but not a bounty hunter. Bail bondsman. He's a bail bondsman. Y'all be wondering, y'all be thinking somebody snitching on you? No, if you think people snitching on you all the time, you a fool to think that technology ain't already got a step up on you. Everybody be hiding, they hide out place and think that they can hide you. No. So you just got to make sure you're prepared to protect yourself and the things that you hold dear. That's what you need to do. So we in here, and I'm not going to keep y'all. Always say that. Let's get going. I'm not going to say we ain't going to stay all night because this is important. And I see a lot of people say, what do we do if I live in an apartment? I'm going to start out with that, even though that was down on my list. I actually made a list. Can you believe it? Nadia, trusting in Jesus and trusting in God, that's all part of it anyway, but that's not going to just help you. You have to do some work, okay? That's like just keep saying, I'm going to get a house someday. It's good that you started in motion to say what your plan is, but now you have to do some work. I see a lot of people copping out with that. I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying I see a lot of people say, I'm not going to worry about it. God got my back. Or I'm not going to worry about it. Jesus got me. I hear a lot of that. But if you don't put in no work, think about it. Think about it. Don't you think you owe him something, some work? You think he's going to do everything for you just for nothing? If there was no payment, there wouldn't be no scripture. Because that's telling you right there what you're supposed to be doing to get to this level. It's telling you in that book what you're supposed to be doing to get over here. So when people say, oh, I ain't going to do nothing, I ain't going to worry about it, God got me. To me, I'm like, he got you, but you got some work to do. You got to get out there and you got to put some work in. You got to show him that, hey, listen, I'm serious. How many people always talking about, I'm going to get that job. I'm going to grab that, that fat house on the hill and this. But you see them and they ain't putting no work in to try to go for those huge dreams. I'm being Hollywood. But they don't never go to no auditions. They don't never go out and put themselves out there to get to that point. So every time they talk and be like, I'm in about a year or two, I'm going to own this. I'm going to have that. I'm going to own this. I'm going to have that. You be like this. Yeah, you are, bruh. Anyway, what, you don't believe me? Yeah, I believe you. Same way. If you just talk, and you ain't put nothing towards it, it'll never come true. So, I understand it, and I do believe it. Yes, God do got your back, but you got some work to do. Don't ever think that you just gonna lay there and sit on the couch and the whole world is gonna come falling at your feet. Don't work that way. Thank you so much, Jay Wade. Thank you for that. What was that? Barry, retirement. I'm not retired. Let me see one thing. Okay, here we go. All right. Anyway, let's get right into it. I appreciate everybody for coming tonight. So, I'm going to start out with my apartment folks right out the gate. And listen, before I get going, don't just talk, don't just listen to me. Do your own research and think about everybody. Listen to a lot of other people. Team apartment, how many people in apartments? You ain't gonna like what I have to say. I'm on your team, I'm on your side, but you're not gonna like what I have to say. And remember, this is just my opinion because I've been there. Yeah, apartment folks, you ain't gonna like what I have to say. Let me see. Trying to move out of an apartment, team apartment, all my apartment dwellers in the house. Hey, Lala, how you doing? Okay. Now, what I have found out was it's a difference between apartment dwellers. There is a apartment situation that people are telling me behind the curtain, but they ain't saying it on here, which I understand. So I want to address that. Number one, if you are on low income, and the stipulations of your low income is that you have to live in an apartment, it's a difference. See, some people are being forced to live in apartments because the man picked it for you. That's different. I'm not addressing you yet. And then there's people that just want to live in an apartment, or they choose to live in an apartment because they think that they can't afford a house. Those are the people I'm really going to talk about first. The low income people, that's another story. But the people that choose or volunteer to stay at an apartment, just all I'm going to say, and this is my own opinion. There is no rules nor law to this. Do everything in your power to get out of that death trap. Amen. Guava. I think living in an apartment got to be, I don't care how nice it is. I don't care if you in a penthouse with a what is that called? That swimming pool that look like it's falling off into the ocean. I think that is the biggest death trap you could ever do. The apartment living, I feel you put yourself in all kinds of jeopardy. Hey, Mississippi Girl Life, you put your children and family in jeopardy living in an apartment. You got too many people entirely too close to you, and they ain't just close to you down the hall. They can hear everything through those paper thin walls, all of your plans, all of your ideas, when you about to leave, when you coming home, what you said on the phone, and half the time, and this is going to my Ohio, Detroit, Cleveland, Cincinnati, New York, I said Chicago already, people that live in high rises, we know about this. Your phone lines and cable lines have a tendency to cross, and you be trying to call somebody be trying to call you, and your neighbor down the hall will pick up. And if they don't answer it like that, maybe they can hear it, but they can't talk, or vice versa, or they can just, or they got the connection to the whole line. So every time your phone ring, they phone ring. Every time they phone ring, your phone might not ring. But somebody in that building is hearing every word you saying, and it happens so often. Yes, all my big city folks know about it. It happens so often. And even where I'm from in Ohio, the houses are so close together that all your cable lines and everything, phone lines, is on one box in the middle of them houses. You will hear what your neighbor talking about. That's just how that system is set up. It's old, it ain't been refurbished, and ain't nothing different probably to this day. So cell phones really kind of save people's tailbone. And I can remember when cell phones first came out, you know, sometimes you could hear other, you like, hey bro, is that you talking? Nah, that you? Nah, sound like a lady. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It doesn't happen. So my advice for my volunteer apartment dwellers, listen, you might not know that living in a house costs just as much as living in an apartment. The only thing some people that live in apartments, they hang on is like, I ain't cutting no grass, I ain't shoveling no snow, I'm not trimming no bushes. So when you take all of those, you look at that as a luxury of things that you don't have to do. But you putting your life at stake. You putting your life in jeopardy because you don't want to cut no grass or trim no bushes. And if you don't want to do that stuff, pay a lawn care service. And you think that it's not easy to find a home. That's not true. I'm living proof that is not true. You just got to do more work, more research. You just have to. Well, HOA is horrible. HOA, that's only if you go live in an HOA community. And it's HOAs in apartment buildings too. No parking spaces. You always getting your car towed. Man, I trust me. I've lived in a good apartment situation, and I've lived in a couple of bad ones. I never, and I never hear nothing good about nobody living in none. Oh, it might be beautiful. Your place, your neighborhood, or your building, we can say, your building, your apartment, everything might be on spot. But look what you got to deal with. Half of the people don't want to move out because you got to move a whole house full of crap and run that down all them steps, bumbling and crumbling down the steps. Oh, never again. So my advice to apartment dwellers, and it's not going to change. Well, I ain't going to say it's not going to change. I'm going to say this. It's going to take some real, true convincing for somebody to convince me that apartments are good. And I'm gonna say this too. I ain't gonna go there. I say get out of an apartment altogether. I personally myself would rather live in a camper, a RV, a trailer, the pool behind trailer. I would rather go live in one of those and have me a little piece of land or a little yard. People be sleeping on those empty lots that they mowed a house down or something. That is for sale. That could be yours. And if your local municipality, you need to check the laws and the rules, you may be able to put one of these sheds like at one of the big box stores on it and live in that and be living for free. You buy a piece of land for like anywhere from $1,500 to $7,000 to $10,000 for a nice little lot. Put a shed on it from the big box store and be living for free for the rest of your life. And now you can build up your real, you Google HOA, okay? You can build up your house as slow as you want to because now you own the lot. You own the lot. So you can build your home as slow as you want. But until then, you living for free. That's how it works. And I know of people, and I'm not gonna shout them out because I don't know if they even want me to do that. I know people that do it, and I could drive right by their house if I want to blow their spot up. One person still live in a big box store shed on their land. The other one has started building their home, and another one already got a whole normal house on their land. They bought the land first. They cleared the land, and then they turned it, went from the tiny house. Now that tiny house on one of those properties is the actual tool shed. Okay? Okay, we got Natalie Holloway said, I'm a loan officer in North Carolina. There are programs to help first-time home buyers. You can purchase a home and family. Listen, thank you, Natalie, for that. Natalie, thank you. Because that's something else. People don't really, talking about real estate and finances is not popular right now. Thank you, Bullish Matt. Said, Led, you could be a bit harsh unnecessarily at times, but what you're doing for people is totally respected. You know what? I'm going to say this. When I'm harsh like that, I truly don't mean to be. I truly don't mean to be. And it's also a person's definition of what harsh is. Some people don't want to hear the truth, and it sounds harsh. The truth sometimes sounds harsh. If somebody call you a fool because you ain't taking care of your family, that sounds offensive. But I get it, and that's something I'm just gonna have to live with because I'm gonna try to do it. Listen, I have 5 people to say I'm harsh, but then thousands of people to say thank you for helping me and my family. So, you know, I take that. But I'm just trying to help out because there's so many of us that ain't trying to help. They got the knowledge, they know what's going on, but they're not trying to help. And I feel if I can't give every man something to bring them up, at least I can share what I know. If I share what I know, maybe it'll help somebody, you know. So, apartment folks, it's so many different ways for you to get out of the house, and there's so many different ways for you to own a home. And like Natalie said, it's so many different programs that you have no idea about. It's programs for you to go own land if you meet certain criteria, and you don't even know, because nobody talks about that. We too busy talking about reality TV, a reality TV, unreality TV. So it's so many different things out there. Look, for instance, I'm finding out, even though I live in a city, right? There are programs that will qualify me because I have gardens, I have land, I have livestock. So I am considered a farmer. For real, technically. You don't got to live out in no man's land with a field full of goats to be a farmer. No, there are it's play on words, everybody. It's always a little play on words, and nobody even be knowing that stuff. We don't talk to each other about reality, and that's why we're here tonight. That's why I said we're going to sit down and have a serious family conversation, because I promise you, some people ain't going to like what's being said tonight, but it's the truth, and the truth hurt. So, number one, if you alone, right, it's government grants, it's other programs to go to. I'm not gonna get on that. You only have 2 chickens. What was that? This thing ain't letting me pause no more, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but it won't let me pause it no more. So I'm gonna try to read as fast as I can. So here we go. All right, number one, you need a plan. You need a plan, and I'm going to relate this to something else. If you just say, uh-oh, I'm about to start prepping, and then you start listening to a channel or something like me, and the person in the background is hearing me like, y'all got to get yourselves together. It's about to go down. Think about how that sounds. Think. It makes sense to you because you've been watching me. Your husband or your wife in the background don't know what the hell is going on. All they hear is you like, oh, that's it. Come on, everybody. We got to go get some buckets. We got to go, we got to get some water. We got some, what we got now? We got some milk jugs. Pour the milk out. Fill them up with water. They're looking at you like you have lost all of your mind. If the person behind you does not understand what you're talking about, You have to explain it by calming down, taking a breath, explain it lightly. And here's the biggest trick, because there's so many spouses that do not agree. It's so many loved ones is like, man, you nuts. Show of hands how many people is like your family member, your husband or your wife is like, you have lost all of your mind. How many people? Have you done lost it? What is going on? Right? Okay. If you have family members like that, sometimes you can't blame them. Everything is about communication. Everything. If you come at them and they hear me on the TV or the computer screaming, like now, in the background, and they trying to eat a sandwich, and they keep looking over their shoulder like, man, who is you listening to? And then you be like, look, shh, baby, we got some extra salt. When you come home from work tomorrow, grab 20 things of salt, 20 of them. That sounds like you're crazy. You sound nuts to a person that doesn't even know. They're not paying attention to the things that's going on in the world. They might be worried about, oh, their best athlete might have got hurt. They're worried about they might have got some money on them, you know what I'm saying? Or they worried about something completely different. They're not focusing on the climate of what's going on here. So I'm not taking that away from anybody. I'm just going to say this. You got to ease some people in to what you talking about. Because me and Lady Leia, we, in a minute, I'll be like, see, that's what I'm talking about. And she'll look at me like, what? You know, James and them. Tired of that. What the heck is you talking about? Oh, I was just talking about how he played me the other day at work and wouldn't do my... You didn't say none of that. You said that in your head, or you just got off the phone with somebody. You finished the conversation after you hung up. You finished the conversation with your spouse or your loved one or your family member, and all they know is you sound real dumb right now, real crazy. You better explain everything you talking about real smooth like, or they gonna think you losing your mind. Okay? That's like them going off about somebody on their sports team. Oh, he fumbled the ball. Oh God, I want to just hurt myself. You looking at them like, what? What just happened is that bad? You talking about hurting yourself? Same thing. If he would have explained to you, man, can you believe Jenkins just dropped the ball? He just dropped the ball. He had 10 yards to go, and he sat there and did a dip on a dude. He didn't explain that. He just got to screaming. That's how crazy we sound. So I'm trying to be fair about how this sounds to other family members. I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, okay? It sounds nuts. When I went out and I told my wife, listen, I'm about to go buy about $1,000 worth of beans and rice. Even if you are like-minded, for a hot second, that sounds insane, okay? $1,000 worth? $1,000. I burnt the card up. The card is smoking. That right there, even if you're like-minded, that's like, you could have figured out a better way to do that. Okay? So yeah, we gotta be cool. Now, doing that, this is what I'm gonna say. Make it fun. Make it fun. Don't make it sound like doomsday. Because once you start talking about doomsday stuff, that's when they think, yep, that's it. It's a wrap. You can get your point across without sounding like one of the 5 horsemen. You know what I'm saying? You can get your point across without a sickle in your hand. For instance, my kids is preppers and they don't even know it. All of my kids is preppers and don't even know it. Princess Leia is a beast. She don't even know what she's doing. But she's preparing for a bad situation. You got to make them games fun with your kids. And then you can make the game fun with your spouse too, okay? Or your friend. You know what I'm saying? It's ways to make this fun. Hey, mama, daughter, sister. Oh, that's the family call you the zombie killer. Well, you know, let me put it to you like this. How many people, we going to start out with this, then we're going to get to our single folks, okay? How many people got family members or loved ones, spouses, loved ones, significant others, family members that think you're nuts? Right now, I want to see them hands go up because I got something to say to you. How many people think you're crazy? They don't believe nothing is going to happen. They don't believe nothing is wrong right now. They don't believe, they think this is all going to go away. Put up 2 hands, put up 3 hands, throw them up. I want to see them. Because please, I'm with you 100%, okay? I ain't going to say them because I know she's watching me, but I'm telling you this. One of my family members think I'm stark raving mad. And I love her with all my soul. And I hurt somebody for her. But she think I'm stark raving mad. No, it's not Lady Led. No, it's not my mom. I'm telling you this right now. And you're wondering, and you're asking me, what should you do about it? Right? I get emails and comments constantly. My wife does not believe. What do I do? Because I'm doing this by myself. My husband does not believe. What do I do? How do I do this by myself? How many people throw it up? I am doing this by myself. I'm gardening by myself. I'm canning by myself. I'm stocking and prepping by myself. I just use my own little change to buy me a solar power generator. I'm learning about alternative energy and water storage by myself. Right? Okay. I'm going to say this like this. A lot of people don't believe in God either. But we know he hears us. A lot of people don't believe in God. But that don't stop you from praying. Do it. Guava. Did that stop you from praying because your loved one might not believe or believe as deeply and powerfully as you? Did you stop praying because you rather just go with them and be with like them and just like, No. You drop to your knees every night. You pray every 5 seconds you get a chance. That didn't stop you from praying. You know why it didn't? Because you know in your heart, you know in your soul that you're doing the right thing. And you're doing it because a higher power told us to. Listen to me now. What we're doing is scriptural, spiritual. So it's funny how people can go to church every Sunday or do whatever ritual that they do and pray to whoever they pray. It's funny how they do all that, but they always don't do the stuff that's in the book. That always gets me. That's why I don't like talking about it. I just don't understand what's wrong with, if you go to church or you pray or you read the Bible. I don't see what's wrong with prepping because it's in there. It's just called something different. I don't understand why that's such a horrible thing. I don't at all. Now, with that being said, just because your loved one, and I'm not stepping on nobody's toes, please, Lord. I'm not stepping on nobody's toes. I don't want to have no relationship problems. But I'm telling you right now, you know there are things to do and there are jobs and hierarchy in your household. Okay. Just like the court of law, which the laws were supposed to be made off this, but you know how they work. It's hierarchy and it's laws and it's rules, right? Okay. Ladies, you know, supposed to be taking care of the children. So, okay, if the lights go out, if the water run out, you taking care of the children. Fellas, you supposed to take care of the whole family, right? You the king of the house. So if your wife really ain't feeling you, it's your job to make sure she and the kids don't go hungry, thirsty, protected from harm, evil doers, right? Just saying, you can't knock me for that, because get the book. Get the book. It's in the book. Just saying. So, I just don't see here. I can go here and I ain't even wrote this down. This off top of the dome, right off. Look. If you prep, if you store food, if you can food, if you buy a solar generator, if you store water, here's my ultimate question for you, for the people that don't believe. What will you lose if we're wrong? If you got a pantry full of food and water and power and energy, what will you lose? This is money that you waste every day on garbage anyway. Going through in somebody's drive-through. You waste this money every day. So instead of doing that, take that money and store away some food and put it away. What would you lose? That's the ultimate question to ask to your loved one, your family members, the people that think you're crazy. What will it hurt? Now, if you're wrong and we don't have nothing when it go down, what do you have to lose? Everything, including your life. See, I'm not a gambling man. I'm a common sense man. If I buy these pair of shoes, they kind of ugly because I got a couple pair of them. My feet is protected. They was on sale, so I'm not losing no money. If I don't have no shoes and my old shoes got a hole in the toe, what do I got to lose? Probably a toe. Probably a foot. You got to use your head a little bit. So to me, storing away food and prepping and storing water and power, you have nothing to lose. If anything, say you're right and nothing happens, nothing. Matter of fact, the world go back to what everybody want to call normal. Now you got extra food, so you ahead of the game, because the prices of everything going to be high and out of sight by the time things go back to normal. You ahead of the game, because you got a closet full of beans and rice. You got power on your energy because the light bills is about to go up. Y'all already see that in your light bill right now. Power is going up. The only reason I got all these lights on is because I'm doing this video. This fish tank is run off of this solar power. So, you will have a bunch of free stuff to give you a head start above everybody else. And you know what? You may become the next elite in the next world. Because you are so far ahead of the game above everybody else, you got a head start. For instance, like your friends growing up. All of us got a couple of rich friends, one or two of them. Only one or two, because you know the rest of them don't want to bother with you. Some of us got rich friends. You know, and I know the reason why they're in a position in a job or whatever they're in to this day is because they had a hell of a head start. You know good and well, if they was on your level, they wouldn't have lasted a week going through the hell in the neighborhood that you lived in, the streets that you ran down. They wouldn't have lasted a week. Your financial situation, they wouldn't have made it. They had a head start, better area, better education, no, nothing to worry about because they cushioned by money. Mommy and daddy giving them all the money they need to handle whatever they need to handle. Gave them their first house, apartment, or whatever. They never had to get a pink slip on their door to say you got 30 days. They've never seen that. They don't understand it. Okay. Think about that in prepping world. If you got a head start, if everything go back or things smooth out, we gonna start saying, because I don't like going back to normal because there's no such thing. If things smooth out, you're ahead of the curve. You're gonna be able to take those beans now. You can sell half of it and make all your money that you invested before the mess happened. You could make all your money back if you wanted to and invest in something else, right? You can do, you gotta think, this ain't just a crazy talk. This is also about business. That's why I buy so many fruit trees, plant so many fruit trees. And I just got through telling y'all the other day. Just ain't about me eating. It's about business too. You sell those trees, you sell those cuttings, you sell that fruit. You invest that money in something greater to give you a bigger return. I'm thinking, I'm only doing this stuff because that's what our ancestors did. This ain't nothing new. It's just a whole nother group of people have took that knowledge and they're using it in this new world and they're getting rich, and everybody like us is like, how did they do that? They're using old ways to do stuff and they're just implementing it in another situation. That's all. You think what Jeff Bezos did is new? This man just started a library in his garage and was like, I'm gonna sell these books to people. Think, Jeff Bezos really started out as a librarian. If you really get technical and think about it. I'm gonna make it so nobody gotta come to the library. I'm gonna send the library to them. He ain't make up nothing new. He just put a twist on it. That's it. That's what we doing right now with gardening, farming, prepping. You use that same old school knowledge. You could take that to the school of hard knocks in the business world and make $1 billion, $1 trillion. These billionaires right now ain't doing nothing new. They didn't invent nothing new. They're just using things that they learned from us, and now they're making billions of dollars off of it. Now, let's get right back into this because I can slide off into that real quick. All right. So, y'all, somebody said I'm alone and I'm not married, so I'm done. Being married and being in a relationship has nothing to do with why it will work. That don't mean nothing, because if the other spouse ain't down, you still by yourself. You can be married for 50 years, and if the other person ain't down with you, you're still by yourself. How many people have ever, you got this big, huge family, at the cookout, everybody is hundreds of y'all there. It's so many of y'all, echo, cancel. It's so many of y'all that you still alone. You don't even know half your cousins' names or whatever. This your cousin Bobby. That's Uncle Leroy. You don't know, or half really don't care. You can be in a whole family barbecue and still feel alone. You could be at the carnival or the fair and still feel like you there all by yourself. So you have to, even if you have somebody with you that's down with you, that's totally 100% gung-ho behind you. Lady Led is 100% gung-ho with me. But sometime I have to think for myself, because two heads make is better than one. So you still have to think by yourself sometime, because she might have forgot, oh, beans is a good idea. She may not have thought of that. So if you by yourself, ain't nothing wrong with that. You have to start thinking for yourself and putting yourself in different crazy scenarios, right? No, I set a timer for the person that asked me about that, what they listening. No, I set a timer. So if you by yourself, my advice to you is you need to take about an hour a day to find like-minded people. I'm not saying go join no cult. I'm saying people like here in the Greenhouse Lounge, we're all here right now because we believe in the same stuff and we're doing the same things. We're gardening, we're prepping, we're getting ready for anything, and we're protectors. Even if you don't believe in the Chaka Khan, you know something? You're a protector. You might not believe in picking up arms and defending yourself, but you are a protector. Because you're here with me right now because you thinking, I don't want nothing to happen to my people. I don't want nothing to happen to my family. So it ain't necessarily you got to pick up arms, go or get in a fight or nothing. But right now, in your mind, you like, I'm willing to do anything and everything for even that cousin I don't know or like. I can call him crazy, but I ain't gonna let nobody else call him crazy. You dig what I'm saying? That's me. So you gotta do just like you looking for something online, trying to shop for something. You gotta do your research and start scoping out some of these groups or some of these Facebook groups. Some of us here on Facebook, you want to keep a tight niche community like that. And what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to go offline and I'm going to start a community so we can all, because guess what? Only real people this serious gonna come into the community. Just like when I was teaching about bees, everybody ain't down with knowing nothing about bees. All they want to know is about how do they get the honey. But the real people that want to make the honey for themselves, they join me in the group. So I must do the same thing with us like-minded people when it comes to preparing for bad situations. I'm going to have the same thing. So we can just come in here and I'll be able to see everybody's faces and we can talk about reality. And we ain't got to worry about nobody coming in talking crazy or nothing. If you don't believe me, you ain't in the group. If you ain't down with it, you ain't got to be in the group. Them people got to get let in, see? So we gonna do that. Now, this is what I want you to do. With the spouse not agreeing, I'm gonna play devil's advocate again for a second. Okay, family, and I'm gonna give you a solution. There's a thin line between hoarding and prepping. There's a thin line between hoarding, like the show, and prepping. Thin line. It's easy to cross too. I've done it a few times. It's easy to cross that line. Then you have to look at the definition of what is hoarding, the definition of hoarding. Then you look at the definition of prepping. That's where stuff get ugly. If your spouse, loved one, family member does agree with you, but they're like, listen, you're starting to encroach on our financial comfort. You're starting to encroach your beans on the couch. You're starting to encroach to the point we can't walk around anymore and we're walking through trails of beans and rice and canned goods, that's hoarding. Okay? So I know somebody was like, my husband called me a hoarder. Depends on both of y'all's definitions of hoarding, because he might be right. It depends. You can see, normally we're like-minded. So I will come to your defense. Yeah, he need to get it together. That's not me. I would have to see your situation before I be like, I don't know. He might have a point, because if you got to move rice every time you got to go out the front door, that ain't gonna work. Okay, if you can't, if your clothes is hung up on your curtain rod because your canned goods is in the closets, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so here's a solution for you. Your solution is just one solution that I just thought off the top of my brain. You're investing in your future and your protection. So a part of that investment should be, you need somewhere to put some of this stuff. You need to go think about renting out a storage facility. Yes, it's not convenient, but you may need to do that just to make sure everybody is safe. And make it somewhere close by, nearby, where you can hurry up and get to it when stuff get ugly. And check on your storage facility all the time. That way, she got her closet space back. He got his front door back. He ain't tripping over no beans. He ain't crashing through no jars of pickles and pickled eggs and butter beans and stuff, crashing, breaking glass. Y'all ain't fussing about, why did you break them jars? I need all the ball jars I can get because they ran out. Ain't no store got no jars and you just broke 3 of them. That's an argument for a prepper. Y'all know I ain't lying. That's a house. That's going to be a discussion, a heated discussion about somebody breaking our jars right now. I tell my son, don't wash them. Leave them for me. Don't wash them jars. Don't put them in the dishwasher neither. You be having me with salmonella and everything. I'll take care of that. I'll take care of my jars. Y'all deal with what y'all deal with. Okay? So, like I say, the definition of hoarding and prepping, ladies and gentlemen, you may be wrong. You may be in the wrong. But I have a solution for that. Look into storage. Somewhere else to store your things. And I'm not talking about leave your loved one. I store them at my new house then. No. Just find you a storage facility. Okay? Now, for the people that do find the groups, here's part of the prepping that we never talk about. Prepping your car or your vehicle. I'm not talking about prepping it, stocking it full of equipment and food and water that you would need to make a trip. I'm talking about, are your tires in good shape? Is it leaking any types of fluids that you should have taken care of? But it's good. It'll take about 3 months and then, the oil will run out. It's good for at least a summer or two before I have to put oil in it. Okay. Prep your car, because if you do find a like-minded group, you want your vehicle running at tip-top condition, because you may have to bug out to meet up with your group. If you have to bug out and meet up with your group, your car is everything. Your vehicle is everything. That cannot falter. Always keep your tank topped off with fuel. Every day, make sure that hand stay on Freddy. Every day. Because you never know. Okay? So, make sure your vehicle, I had to throw that in there, because if you don't have somebody there to help you, your vehicle is even that much more important, because that is going to be your lifeline. People pack it up with food and water, but they never think about, is my tires okay? Is my oil changes up to date? My tune-up going on? That's all serious business. Fuel in the tank, okay? So you're going to have to meet up with your group. You got to find you a group to meet up with. Somebody fairly close by, because if the roads get ugly, you're going to have a problem. All right? So, got that one. Now, to help you if you are single, most of the people in the house tonight are single, but I think you may have children. You may have children. If you're single, like, look, I'm retired single. Retired single mean ain't nobody here but me and my dog or my cat. I get it. We'll get to that in a minute. But for my people that you are single, but you have small children with you, and when I say small children, I don't care how old they are. They almost got them hard baby shoes on. If they can walk and they can carry something, make it a game. Make it a game. Because that may be your team. Didn't I tell you my kids is preppers and don't even know it? They don't even know it. You know, my son, my oldest, he kind of cracked on me one time. He said, man, every time my birthday, you give me a new kind of pocket knife. I got some just sitting right here. Multi knives, cheap, expensive, it don't matter. See, you always, why do you do that? I say, son, because I hope that you never have to find out. If you don't want them, I understand. Just keep them in a safe place. I totally understand. You don't gotta want it. Just accept it and put it in a safe place. He a prepper and don't even know it. What do this one do, Dad? You got time to find out. You know, take it home and just play with it a little while. You ain't gotta keep it. Just hang on to it. What is this? What is this bag for? You might need it. Okay? Dads, that's what dads do. So, just like your mama, your mama always curling some money up in your hand. Shh, don't tell your daddy. Same thing. Same thing. That's what dads do. We give you a whole bunch of weapons for, for some reason. Before we give you some cash, we give you some weapons. My daughter, take this blade. She'll look at it like, you sure? That's right. That's right. That's Swiss Army, honey. Daddy love you. Have a nice night. That's what dads do. Now, keep it moving. Okay? If you have children, they may end up being your team. They may end up being your group that you have to meet up with. They are even more trustworthy than any stranger that you'll ever know. These are your children. You know everything about each and every one of them, right? You know who you hand the tools to. You know who don't hand the tools to. If you dig what I'm saying. Don't hand that to him. Give that one to her. Who do you keep up on watch? Do you give this old sleepy, my little sleepy gremlin up there? No. I would never have him on watch. Okay? You know your children better than anybody on this planet. You know all of their strengths and you know all of their weaknesses. So nobody has to come up and give you a briefing and tell you about this new soldier. No, you train this soldier yourself. This one can run without even breathing. This one can swim like a fish. This one can stay up all night. This one is so dedicated and true, they'll never let nothing happen to the rest of us. You understand? So you know which one to put in charge of everything else if something happened to me, and then you create that hierarchy. Who's the smart one? Who's going to be your brainiac? Who's going to be the thinker, the planner? Who is the muscle? Who is the smart scavenger? All of that, your children, single ladies and gentlemen, cancel.
Your door timer is done.
Cancel. So, Echo, Cancel. That was my other timer. So you know better than anybody on this planet what all of your children are capable of, and that could end up being even better than meeting up with a bunch of strangers. Okay, so ladies, right now, gentlemen, my single fellas out there that got your kids with you, training your kids up. I understand you want them to get into the basketball or the football. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but they got one more thing to be thinking about too. Okay, that's survival. Because if they don't make the tryouts, if they don't make the team, if your children don't make it to the NBA or the NFL, they will know how to survive. I never forced my kids to do that stuff. Survival, that was forced. But making it to the NBA or the NFL, if that's your dream, go for it. I'm 100% behind you. But you gonna know how to can these sweet potatoes. You gonna know that. Listen, guess what? Guess who about to can these tomorrow? I'm about to do a batch today. These is all them sweet potatoes that I got from the farmer's market. I brought this in here to show you. I'm canning these sweet potatoes. Tonight, I'm gonna can them all. Princess Leia chopped them all up for me. She got a 5-gallon bucket waiting. She's coming over tomorrow, and I'm going to teach her how to pressure can and water bath can other things. Apples, we got apples we doing, and she gonna pressure can these sweet potatoes. We had a beautiful day the other day just cutting up sweet potatoes, and I'm teaching her what I learned from Homestead Heart and Granny Karma on how to can. I'm teaching my daughter now. That's what we are all here for. You take that knowledge, now you pass it on. Because if something happened to you, she'll be able to pass that knowledge down too. Don't think your kids is too young to learn this stuff, because a kid that can take that video game and do this with just their thumbs and their tongue, I don't know what the tongue do, but that. See, back in my day, it was like this. You know, that was it. Now, it's about 20 buttons on that. Oh, he killed it. Oh, he got him. What? What you want? What you want? What you want? If they can do that, they can learn how to can some potatoes. Don't ever put it past your kids and think they so young that they stupid. That's where we as parents mess up. I ain't getting in nobody parent business or your family business, but I think we don't give children the respect they deserve when it comes to their brain. That's why I never let my kids get away with no bull crap, because like, you smarter than that. I see how you as a baby. I saw how you climbed out your crib, crawled under the bed, went into the kitchen. I saw how you opened up the kitchen door and climbed up the pots to get up there to the Sugar Smack cereal. I saw all that, and then hid yourself in the top shelf. I saw you do it. That does not happen with a dummy. Your baby is smart, fresh out the womb. It's what you put in it. What you put into your child's mind is what they're going to end up being. For instance, if all you watch on your computer is garbage, twerking and everything, that's all your computer is going to be worth. If all you watch is garbage on your computer or your iPad or your laptop, that's all your technology going to be worth. That information that you keep putting in there. That's why you be like, Led, you ain't pop up in my feed. I don't know what I keep missing the lives. You ain't pop up in my feed. That's because you probably watching like how to do hair videos or nail videos or NBA stats. It's only going to reflect what you keep putting in it. See, everything you type in there keep coming back to you. Keep coming back to you. So whatever you put in your baby's brain, the earlier the better. That's what you gonna get. That's what you gonna get. So I don't think nobody's baby is stupid. None of them. You done seen some miraculous. You done seen them do some miraculous stuff. My baby, my oldest boy, fell off of a cabinet. just fell off the cabinet. He climbed up there. I didn't know he was up there. He fell, bust his head and everything. Got back up. Can I have some cereal? Listen, I was like, that's the muscle right there. He cracked his whole head. I had to take him to the hospital, get checked out. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Nothing. He's fine. Not a scratch. But did you check his head though, Doc? Like this piece. What about his neck? His neck? Oh no, that's just he got his dad's just big fat neck. That's all. Just that's my muscle. Just got his daddy big fat neck. That's my muscle. So he can take a hit. That's the muscle. Your kids they show you every day that they show you their worth, even in the dumbest ways. Okay, Princess Leia, give a gab. She'll talk your butt out of your shoes in the wintertime and you won't even know it till she walking away and you feel the cold of your feet. Like, that's my baby girl. Okay, so we got that one. I'm gonna wrap this up too. So this is what I'm gonna do to wrap this up. We got to get on the same page. I say that in your family, and I ain't Dr. Phil or nobody, but I'm gonna say this: it comes a time where it's time to talk. That goes for all of us. It's time to talk. The reason y'all laughing about that baby because one of your babies done did everything I just said tonight. I know it. How many people practice prepping? See, I do more practice than you know. It's just not always on camera. You would actually get sick of that. How many people practice? How many people set up their tents and set up their whole camp? How many people go camping? Set up everything, even dumb stuff that you know. I'm not bringing that whole big old lodge grill with me. I'm not bringing that doggone rocket stove with me. We just camping. Take your stuff with you and practice your preps. This is why I'm telling you to do this. When we go camping, and we don't do a YouTube video, hey, whole new perspective. When you go camping, or you go out in your backyard, or even if you set up your tent in your living room, inside your home, that means cut this technology off. The phones, when I say technology, I mean your phones, iPads and stuff, cut that off. You can even bring it. But there has to be a level of communication, which we're going to talk about tomorrow or Monday. We are going to talk about communication. I'm going to set that video up and have that ready to go. Communication with your children, your husband, your wife, with no distractions. None of these. Because you could be talking at a dinner table and everybody like this all the time, right? Yeah, I seen that. Man, he crazy. He said again now? He said, what? For real? Right? That's what we do. This is what we've become. We've become that. There is no more wonderful conversations that I have with my wife and kids than when we close these up. And I know it sounds corny. It sounds like a Saturday morning special. But it's the truth. Close that crap up and start looking people in their eyes. We don't even realize that we don't even look each other in the eyes no more. We look down and listen and side-eye each other. You know the definition of side-eyeing anybody. Even in a good sense, a side-eye universally mean, you don't trust me. How many times you doing like this and somebody talking to you and you side-eyeing like, yeah, for real? And the person say, why are you looking at me like that? Looking at you like what? You looking all like you don't believe me. I believe you. I'm listening. I'm over here. I'm what? That's an argument we've all had that you wouldn't have had if you just sat that down and listened to him for about 5 minutes. Give him this. I would rather be like, why are you staring at me like that? Because, see, I can make up all kind of stuff with them because you're beautiful. Can I look at you because you're beautiful? That's going to be a good conversation later. But that side eyeing, because you too busy, that means I don't got time for you. I'm busy with this, and I'm kind of absorbing some of the crap you're talking about. You got to go camping or set up a day, set up a time, or have dinner, and put that crap down. Put it down. Flip it over so you don't see every time it light up, your screen light up, you do this. Cut the ringer off. That's why people be like, man, I've been trying to call you. I never have my ringer on. Sometimes, unfortunately, I miss some very important things. But I feel like, look, I can't be staring at this thing every 5 seconds. So, when me and Lady Leg go camping, the most wonderful conversations, things that I didn't know that's new, or things that she's striving to do or striving to be, I get to find that out. Like, really? You want to do that? You ain't never told me that. You ain't never asked. It just don't seem like something you like. Yeah, I love that. My wife is a dancer. My wife is a dancer. And years ago, I'm like, what you want to do that for? What do you mean dance? Dance like what? Because you know, that's that life, man. If you're trying to, dance like what? Dance where? Down to the bomb shelter? Because that's the only kind of dancing I know. Our city where we from. If Game Nerd Mom in here, she might remember the bomb shelter. Don't come. You go in somebody's house and tell them you want to be a dancer. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. What did I do wrong? Because we ain't in Chicago or New York where being a dancer means something different. When somebody say, I'm into dance. Oh, really? Oh, where? How? Nah. When you in a city like where I'm from, when you tell somebody, yeah, I want to be a dancer. Oh, Lord. Oh, God, no. I did everything for you to keep you away from that. No, but my wife is a dancer and she does it beautifully. She dances honestly like an angel. And years ago, I would have never knew she wanted to be a dancer. Wow. Beautiful. Right? But that was one of those times we at camp and we sitting around the fire talking. You learn a lot about the person you with or the people you surround yourself with when you cut this off for about an hour. Promise you. So I say you get that camp set up, practice while we still got a chance, and talk a serious talk about prepping. Not with me in the background on your iPad. Oh, the sky is falling. Everybody get your water. And China said some stuff. And no. No. Cut that off. Cut me off. And turn your loved one on. That's dope. Y'all, I said that. Okay? I'm going to copyright that. Turn your iPad off and turn your loved one on. That, man, I like the sound of that. Man, Lead Farmer 73. That sound good. That right there. Yeah. Turn your phone, your iPad off and turn your loved one on. You can take that however you want to. But that make all kind of sense. You will find out a lot more about the person you lay down with or the people you surround yourself with when you cut these off. You sit down and start talking about prepping on a normal level and try to make it fun, try to make it make sense, and keep your desperate energy to yourself. because you're going to startle somebody. Okay? You're going to scare people with that. We can do it, but people that needs to understand what's going on, because it's like Frugal Nurse Homestead said today. She said, you know, some people don't know. I said that in a video a while back. Some people just don't know what's going on. They so caught up in their lives doing life or at work, you don't even really, some people stay at work so long you really don't see the reality of what's really going on. You know, people like, what? What happened? What you mean? Who? What flood? What drought? People don't be knowing. It ain't because they stupid. They just too busy with life, which we're going to talk about again, that you will let reality slide right by you. You so busy with life that you will let reality just pass you by. So, for all my people, I'm going to say I really hope anything I say here tonight helps. I've been there and done that too, Ession Family Guard. Yes, my brother. So, you guys, I hope what I said here helps. I hope that you can come and elaborate on some of the stuff that I said, and y'all can have a serious discussion in your household about what's going on, because we can be perceived as lunatics if it's not communicated properly. There's a lot of information on social media, and I will even say the media. Stick with me, because I know what the media, I know what it is, okay? It's not altogether right. But there are, I'm trying to say this without sounding like a lunatic, there are messages in the mess that they spread on there. And you see how they'll do it? They'll make the real serious, horrible stuff. They'll talk about it for 20 seconds, and next thing you know, a Hershey commercial come on. And then the next thing, oh, look, this is Tic Tac the dribbling dog. Now how did you just go from 15 people were murdered today on the news, and then you went from that to a Hershey commercial and back to you, Dave, and now you with Tic Tac, the basketball playing dog. Isn't he adorable? 20 seconds ago, plus a commercial, you was talking about a massacre. How is we supposed to take this dog and that Hershey commercial serious? So you gotta pick. It's like bits of something somebody fed you something. I don't eat onions. Oh, you pick that onions off your sandwich. That's what you got to do to the media. That's what you got to do to social media. Even me here. You got to pick out the crap that you don't need and just eat the stuff and feed your soul with what you need. That's it. You know? Feed your soul with only the things that you need. Pick the mess out of it. Okay? So, that's it, you guys. I hope what I said tonight, I hope it helps. I hope it gives you something to talk about in your life. I really do. Because we all in a lot of trouble. And yeah, I'm going to end the video with, oh, the sky falling. We all in a lot of trouble. It just ain't got you yet. You ever see those people, they can eat anything they want. Anything they want. Donuts, cookies, pies, pop. They can eat anything they want, and you always, through your whole life, you sniff a donut, you fat, right? But that person that been eating anything they want their whole life, like, oh, they always skinny as a rail, they don't gain an ounce their whole life. Soon as it all come piling back up on them, and heart attack or something. Like, wow, they was always so healthy. Just because you skinny don't mean you healthy. You know? Just all of this stuff can just pile up on you if you don't pay attention. It'll just pile up on you and rip your heart out at the wrong time. Speaking of that, so you know, me and Lady Led talked about it the other day, and we gonna have another health journey discussion about. Think about it, having a like-minded person with you in health as well. Cause I'm sitting here like, I got everything else on lock, but what I look like unhealthy, and my wife stepping out of here looking like she forgot her wings and her halo in the car. See what I'm saying? That means we weren't like-minded on that for a while. Enough for me to gain my weight back or some of it back. See that? So while I'm preaching, I am learning as well to eat my own words. Like, look, so I'm back on mine. I've been working on it. And I'm going to take this a little bit more serious. We getting old. You watching me, you probably getting old too, even if you young. We getting old. And we can't keep putting cheap fuel in our vehicle. We can't keep putting cheap fuel in our vehicle. We got to start growing our own premium fuel out there. Okay? True story. True story. That's why our grandparents lived so long. Think about it. And you know what? I think our grandparents would probably still be alive if the food didn't change so drastically. Her grandmama was almost 100 years old, literally. And listen, she just was tired. She just was like, yeah, I had enough of this, pretty much. She could have kept going. But the food that they starting to feed people now, man, it's like eating. It's not food. It's food-like. When I was a nurse, and frugal nurse will understand me, all my nurses and medical professionals in the house, there was something called mechanical food that we had to feed certain patients that couldn't swallow properly. And they would take this mashed up garbage and shape it into a pile of peas that looked like a pile of peas. Or shape it like a pork chop. It looked just like a pork chop. Everything was the exact right color, exact right portion. Everything that looked like it's supposed to be whole, it wasn't. It wasn't even real food. These ain't peas. This is some kind of protein they supposed to be eating. So, that's what we doing right now. We eating things that look like food, kind of taste like food. It's not food. Sometimes people talk, and I know this is for my foodies too, so don't get mad at me, my foodies, but let's be for real. When you're mixing certain ingredients up, you're a scientist. A chef or a cook is a scientist, literally. So with that being, you can either make a bad potion that's going to explode in your face, or you can make something that's going to cure cancer. Right? A little dip of this, a little touch of that. You in the kitchen ain't no different. If you mix certain things with other certain things, you can actually make something that will hurt you. It tastes delicious if you add a bunch of ketchup on it, but you can actually concoct something that can actually harm you. That's what's happening here. Everything looks like food, tastes like food, shaped like food, but it's not food. It's just a big science project. And they got the Nobel Prize because this look and tastes like a burger, but it's not. Look. I've been holding on to this for the longest because I said I'm never drinking no more of these. That's why I keep this as a reminder. I've had this now for almost a year. What is this? Have you ever just stopped and just thought about it? What is this? Want to hear something else? You can't even see through the bottles or the cans to even see if it's something floating or dead down to the bottom. You won't even know. You can't inspect it. They made it so you can't even inspect it. See, when I was growing up, even though none of that was good for you, you could at least look through the bottle. You can look through the bottle and be like, what is that right there? They made it so you can't even look through stuff and see what you drinking no more. They just like, just drink it. You're going to enjoy that. Drink that. You don't even know. I'm not doing that no more. So, we got to do better, family. So, for all my people that's in the house tonight, sit down and have that serious discussion. I suggest you actually really do a practice prep, set up a camp either in your yard or out in your living room, wherever. We even did when we did one outside and we did one inside, right? Y'all remember that video? I'm going to actually link that video to the end of this video. So please practice and talk to one another. Surround yourself with like-minded people. If this your family members, your friends, loved ones, spouse, talk to them. Talk to them and let them really see what's going on and how you feel. Now, if they don't accept how you feel after you done announced it, they've stated they drew a line in the sand. You ain't okay with me trying to be okay. Right? You okay, you let me know. Don't come looking for you if something pop off. That's what that talk is going to be about. If you ain't trying to stand by me so I can save us all, that just look, I take your name off the list. Like, okay, don't look for Randy. No. It's like the person said earlier, it's harsh. But it's the truth. The truth is, I'm always a glasses half full kind of guy. I try to be as positive as I possibly can. But truth is truth. Everybody ain't gonna make it. For whatever reason, everybody ain't gonna make it, and everybody ain't even supposed to make it. So I'm not going to keep wasting my energy and my time on people around me that can't see the forest for the trees. You can't see nothing that's happening right now. Really? If you can't see it, I'm tired of trying to convince you of it. Because then now I really do look crazy. If I'm constantly like, man, you got to get on this bandwagon. You got to come on. Oh, we going to die. Now you really do start looking crazy. So I'm going to start toning this down a little bit, and I'm just going to start wrapping this up with like-minded people and putting them around me so we can talk about what we need to do for this next level of the game. Because y'all see the levels done kicked up. I went to go get some gas today. I drove out of that gas station like, I got to come up with something else. We all better start thinking about other things. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to get off. How do you turn these into that? You got me, Sapper? Okay. Just saying. That's why I keep telling you, this just all ain't for eating. I'm going to let you use your imagination. You might have to dig out some of my old videos on that one. All the people that know what I'm talking about, sapper gardener in the house, you know. That's why I came out that gas station. I ain't gonna keep on going in there. Guava. Everybody have a wonderful night. I'm gonna let y'all go. It's Friday night. Everybody having a good time tonight. I'm glad y'all came and hung out with me for a minute because I hope I was able to answer a lot of people with what I had to say. What was that? I'm gonna try to pull it. Yeah, it won't let me hold questions no more for some reason. We did an update and now it won't let me hold questions. Okay, no question. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful night. Guava. Had to get my man out here. Guava. That's right. Prep and pray. Live Farm 73. I love y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'm out.